Ten Best Picks presents the top 10 best stereo receivers. Starting at number 10. DENON RCDN10. With something to suit virtually every taste, this company has tried its hand at headphones, hi-fi systems, home theaters and more. In other words, if you're looking for high-quality audio, then DENON gives you a good place to start. The DENON Seal N10 is the focus of our review today and the fourth generation entry in the Seal range. This incredible system includes support for multi-room playing. Plus, you also get state-of-the-art Wi-Fi technology, Alexa support, and AirPlay too. If you're in the market for a mini hi-fi system that's big on performance, then this could be the product you've been looking for. Well, first off, it's important to note that this is a full hi-fi system. It's a lot more sophisticated than any wireless speaker on its own. You'll be hard-pressed to find anything about the DENON Seal N10 that doesn't blow you away. This powerful mini hi-fi system is brimming with modern features to make your life easier and give you more access to your music. From powerful sound quality to Wi-Fi and Alexa access, there's a lot to love. If you're looking for a speaker with a lower price tag, then the DENON might not be the best choice for you. However, if you're willing to splash out on your hi-fi system, this is the device to do it with. At number 9. Yamaha RX-V4A. Yamaha is a highly renowned manufacturer of AV receivers. The company has been offering a wide range of products to meet the evolving needs of different customers. The latest model, known as Yamaha RX-V4A, has become a hot topic of discussion nowadays. What does this AV receiver offer? Let us assess the benefits and features of this model. This Yamaha RX-V4A review is an unbiased attempt to find out whether RX-V4A is worth buying. According to the manufacturer, this model transforms your listening and viewing experience. It comes with advanced features like Cinema DSP 3D and high slew rate amplifier to deliver unrivaled sound quality. Also equipped with innovative functions and features like multiple HDMI inputs, HDR10+, IRC, 4K 120Hz, and future support for 8K, this AV receiver delivers a stunning movie watching and gaming experience. The splendid design easily catches the attention of the viewers. The room calibration function assesses the room acoustics before optimizing the sound output exactly according to your space. The built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth help you establish a wireless connection to your smart devices. The sound quality of the Yamaha RX-V4A is highly appreciable. It also offers an excellent viewing experience for the users. The fresh design of this model looks solid and impressive. You can also find this device flexible and responsive. If you want slightly more powerful experience, you can consider Big Brother Yamaha RX-V6A. The RX-V4A calibrates the audio exactly according to the demands of a room. The Music Cast app lets you eliminate all complexities associated with cabling and clutter. When you look at all these aspects objectively, you can certainly find this AV receiver worth buying. Number 8 of my list. Sony STRDH 590. At least on paper, Sony's newest entry-level AV receiver, the $279 STRDH 590, is designed for someone like me. Who am I, you ask? Well, I'm someone who loves my home theater system, but is more of a videophile than an audiophile. I'm on the cutting edge when it comes to video, with a 4K HDR-capable display and source devices, and I absolutely demand surround sound to go along with them. However, I have no real desire to expand beyond a 5.1-channel speaker setup. I'm not going add rear surrounds or make the jump to Atmos and DTS:X. I just want a good, easy-to-use AV receiver to complete my home theater experience. One way that Sony saves money is by eliminating the network functionality built into many higher-priced AV receivers and all the licensing costs that go along with it. It costs money to integrate technologies like AirPlay, Chromecast, and DTS Play-Fi, as well as services like Spotify, Pandora, Tidal, and TuneIn. What you do get with DH590 is Bluetooth 4.2 connectivity, so you can stream those services from a computer or mobile device if you wish. In the intro, I said that the STRDH 590 is designed for someone like me, at least on paper. After putting this receiver through its paces, I can say that it's also true in practice. Okay, maybe it's not ideal for me literally, since I already own large 4-ohm tower speakers. But if I were crafting a 5.1-channel HT system from scratch, built around bookshelf or modest floor-standing speakers, I would take a serious look at the STRDH 590. It's very easy to set up, it's very easy to use, and it supports the AV technologies that matter to me. Most importantly, the STRDH 590 doesn't skimp on performance like some run-of-the-mill TIB receiver unit. It can provide a solid backbone for your 5.1 home theater system. Coming at number 7. Sony STRDN 1080. If you've recently been in the market for a home cinema amplifier around £500 $600, it's likely you've heard of the Sony STRDN 1080. Not only is it a current What Hi-Fi Award winner, it's in fact a 3-time award winner, an unprecedented move when it comes to AV receivers. Gunshots are terrifically precise, and punches hit with satisfying impact. The agile and sure-footed manner in which the Sony conducts itself around the film's equally agile choreography is admirable. To get the best sound for your room's acoustics, plug in the setup mic and run the auto-calibration process. Sony's improved DCACX calibration takes note of your exact speaker package configuration before emitting swift and musical test tones. You can delve into the manual settings to fine-tune the results, though we are happy with the Sony's largely accurate measurements of our test room. After a gap year, Sony came back fighting, with all the specs boxes duly ticked this time. The addition of Dolby Atmos, as well as other cutting-edge features, makes the STRDN 1080 a complete AVR package for a now eye-openingly low price of just £429. 3 years is a lifetime in home cinema technology terms, so the fact that this amp has won awards 3 years in a row tells you a lot. It's such an accomplishment, we've inducted the Sony STRDN 1080 into our Hall of Fame, our list of the most important and influential products of all time. At number 6. Cambridge Audio AXA35. We're surprised Cambridge Audio managed to find the time to build the AXA35 stereo amplifier. After all, it's been a busy 12 months for the British hi-fi brand. First we saw the launch of its high-end Edge range of separates, with its fantastic Edge NQ streaming preamp. Then there was the Alva TT turntable, a premium Bluetooth deck with plenty going for it. More recently, Cambridge Audio made a big splash with its first pair of true wireless headphones, the 5-star Melomania 1, and yet it has still found time to launch a new entry-level range of hi-fi separates, the AX series, consisting of 2 CD players, 2 stereo amplifiers and 2 network receivers, all under £500. We're getting to know the range with this, the Cambridge Audio AXA35. There's a shortage of high-quality hi-fi electronics at the budget end of the market, so it's good to see Cambridge Audio produce an amplifier with the musicality and all-round appeal of the AXA35. A Marantz PM6006 UK edition will get you greater subtlety and refinement, and it can also be partnered with more expensive speakers. Perhaps not surprising considering it is a little more expensive, and it started life a fair chunk more expensive. Having said that, the AXA35 arguably sounds clearer and has a more neutral tonal balance, doing more than enough to justify a 5-star rating at this price point. It looks and sounds the part, and if this is just a hint of what the rest of the Cambridge Audio's AX range has to offer, we're in for a sonic treat. For more information and price, check out the product links in description underneath the video. Halfway of my listed number 5. Marantz NR1200. The Marantz NR1200 is described as a network stereo receiver, a category of product that has seen a few entries over the years but had gone a little quiet of late. Ignore the terminology given by Marantz, though in the reality of the NR1200 is rather different. This is another amplifier that fits in the pattern of product that we have been devoting some time to recently, and it does so more thoroughly than almost anything else. Kicking off with a statement deep within the realms of subjectivity, I have always found Marantz equipment to be the least stereotypically Japanese sounding of the Japanese house brands. Even when their affordable amps hadn't been hot-rodded by the much-missed Ken Ishiwata, they exuded an energy and drive that could be missing in their more relaxed rivals. The good news is that simply because the NR1200 does more than stereo amps of old, this hasn't affected this slight tweak of extra energy. Enjoying the massively underrated Deep Down and Dirty by the stereo MCs, the Marantz delivers the title track with enough urgency and aggression to engage you and get the head nodding. Let's return briefly to an amp already referenced once in this review as a build quality benchmark, the Riga Brio. If you have source equipment, no TV and a room that allows for the correct placement of speakers, the Riga is, by quite a considerable margin, the better of these two amplifiers. Having made this comparison, I must now point out it is meaningless. These two products do not occupy the same space and should not be on the same shortlist. Like a few amps we've looked at recently, the Marantz should really be seen as an all-in-one system to which you just add speakers, be they new or repurposed, and, when seen that way, it's exceptional value for money. If you have become fond of the video and input collation of an AV receiver, but feel that it is time to reduce the number of speakers in the house, this is an indispensable piece of kit. The post-AV category is starting to take shape, and the Marantz is part of it that and comes highly recommended. Coming in at number 4 of my list. Sony STRDH 190. This is a review and detailed measurements of the STRDH 190 stereo amplifier. I was talked into buying it to review a while back. The STRDH 190 costs an incredibly low US $140 from Amazon including free shipping. The economics of this is impossible to fathom. If I had to sell you its empty box I could not make a living at this retail price. So I imagine Sony is losing money on every one of these. I did not expect a full display and microprocessor to drive it, but that is what we have. Likely because this is a featured AVR. Everything looks great until you touch the volume control and realize it is a stiff-feeling thing, best left to look at than use. Fortunately a remote control is included, so you can do exactly that. At this point, I decided to run the 20 to 20 kHz power sweep, regulating the output to 1% THD. This involves the analyzer at each frequency point, raising and lowering the input level until distortion equals 1%. I kept failing to get there at all frequencies with the amp shutting down or not getting to high enough distortion. Needing to play with the parameters a lot, I put a fan on top the amplifier heatsinks and kept playing around. Next thing I know, it shuts down, but no longer powers up. The power LED lights up, but the rest of the display does not. And after about 8 or so seconds, it shuts itself down. Lowing or lofty standards good bit, the Sony STRDH 190 seems to be a good amplifier. It looks nice, has remote, multiple inputs, phono, etc. and produces a lot of power. It is certainly much better than a lot of internet specials when it comes to amplifiers. What you pay for it gets you headphone amplifier and that is it. The value is therefore remarkable. At number 3, Echo Link Amp. Amazon has two hi-fi components of its own, the Echo Link, which you can add to an existing amplifier, and the Echo Link Amp, which is designed to power any standard pair of passive speakers. On paper, the Echo Link Amp makes a compelling case for itself. It's less than half the price of Sono's new amp and over £100 cheaper than Sono's outgoing Connect amp. But there's just one problem, the Amazon Echo Link Amp sounds really poor. The Echo Link Amp is strikingly unstriking, there isn't even a logo to identify it as an Amazon product. The matte black finish is only broken up by a black volume knob ringed by 10 white LEDs that indicate the volume. The Link Amp approaches music streaming in the same way as Amazon's Echo speakers. Initial setup is straightforward and handled by the Alexa app, but for actual streaming the app is rather limited and unintuitive. There's no way to search for music across multiple services, for example, and no way to add tracks to an on-the-fly queue. It might seem as though we're being overly critical of a product that appears to represent good value for money when compared to its direct rivals, but this isn't about the cost. Components of any price should have a basic grasp of music, a core understanding of rhythm, tone and dynamics. Plenty of sub-£100 Bluetooth speakers manage it, but not the Amazon Echo Link Amp. This is a product possessing a rare lack of talent, and the fact that it's made by a company as huge and wealthy as Amazon is little short of baffling. For more information and price, check out the product links in description underneath the video. Coming at number 2, Yamaha RN303BL. In an era of soundbars and built-in speakers, AV receivers seem to be getting less common. But that doesn't mean they're without use, allowing you to control multiple sources from one single remote and control different sets of speakers for different uses. That doesn't mean, however, that they shouldn't be refreshed every now and then. After all, in 2018 CDs are well and truly on their way out as streaming services and wireless features become standard. Yamaha has tried to combine the classic AV receiver with modern functionality, and the result is the Yamaha RN303. At $249-299 it could be a pretty great deal, especially if it delivers in its modern features. Does it? We put the Yamaha RN303 to the test to find out. Of course, perhaps the most important thing about the receiver is how it sounds, and we found it perfectly capable. As mentioned, the receiver supports stereo speakers, and really that's all it supports. Not only can you not connect stereo speakers, but there's also no support for a subwoofer, though that's not entirely unusual for this price bracket. For the price, the Yamaha RN303 receiver is a very solid option. While there are some downsides, like the lack of surround sound and the buggy wireless setup, in general the receiver is pretty easy to use and sounds great. Perhaps the best thing about it, however, is how inexpensive it is. At $249-299, you'd be hard-pressed to find another receiver that supports this many features. And number 1. Yamaha RS202BL. I know we have a tendency to focus on high-end, multi-channel receivers with Dolby Atmos and complex bass management schemes, but let's not lose sight of the final goal, enjoying the music. Yamaha has been making receivers for many decades, and when I was in college, you could always spot the Yamahas on the racks at the audio shop because that had orange fluorescent displays. Of course, back in the days, stereo was king and CO2 tape decks were the rage. The RS202 carries on that Yamaha tradition of great sound at an affordable price and has been updated for streaming via Bluetooth. The clips will accept bare wire up to 16 gauge and pin terminals. At this price point, that's not unexpected. The fluorescent display is easy to read from across the room and is white, not the orange like from the 80s. The black brushed aluminum face is clean and looks smartly dressed. If you use the headphone jack, you must turn off the speakers by deselecting speakers AB. So, with my few weeks of having the RS202 in the equipment rack, I was able to relive a bit of my youth and enjoy the sounds of plain old vanilla stereo again. I had almost forgotten what a simple pleasure it was to set up 2 speakers and just listen to music. No fancy DSP or bass management schemes. No app to download. Just hook up a CD player or turntable and listen to the music. Bluetooth streaming is easy, convenient and sounded fine for everyday listening. Yamaha has taken a decent stereo receiver and made it eminently more useful and enjoyable. I recommend this receiver if you are starting out as a newly initiated audiophile. It is easy to use and easy on the ears. At this price, why would you say no? For more information and price, check out the product links in description underneath the video. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe my channel, share this video and hit the like button.